Did you know that Hercules had a male lover? In fact, he had a few. One of the most hypermasculine heroes from Greek myth was actually entwined with several men. One of the lucky guys was called Hylas, or not so lucky when you hear the story. We learn about Hylas in the Argonauts expedition, which is the legendary journey for the Golden Fleece. Our main source is Apollonius of Rhodes, writing in the 3rd century BC in the Argonautica. He tells us that Hylas was Hercules' companion and arms bearer, who he trained, travelled with, and in one way or another was deeply attached to. By the way, you can also call him Heracles, his ancient Greek name. He also tells us that Hylas was a youth of extraordinary beauty, with one line reading, "With the full moon shining from a clear sky, she saw him in all his radiant beauty and alluring grace." On one stop in the journey, Hylas goes to fetch water, is spotted by a nymph, she pulls him into the water, and he disappears. Hercules searches frantically, but Hylas is gone, like forever. In Apollonius of Rhodes, Hercules never returns to the ship because he's left behind searching for Hylas. Now, if you've read Stephen Fry's Heroes, you might recall him saying something along the lines of, Hercules ate from the man trough as well as the woman's. One of his reasons being that the relationship between an older and younger male was a recognised social structure in ancient Greek society. This was called the Erastes and Eromenos. So we do actually have a poem by Theocritus titled Hylas, which is suggestive of a homosexual relationship between the two and written in the 3rd century BCE. One part reads, "No, for Amphitrion's iron-hearted son, who braved the lion, was the slave of one. A fair-curled creature, Hylas was his name." There's also the emotional devastation that Hercules experiences. In Apollonius of Rhodes, it's written that sweat poured down from his temples and the dark blood boiled within him. Emotional, yes, raw, but also reminiscent of the same wrath that Achilles experiences after the loss of Patroclus. Of course, there is also the interpretation that Hercules and Hylas simply enjoyed a very close bond of companionship. I would be interested to understand, do you read Hercules as having a homosexual relationship with Hylas? And once more, do you think the Greeks would have been comfortable imagining their strongest hero as in love with another man? Stay tuned for part 2, where I'll explore another love of Hercules, Abderus.